Hello, welcome back to Do Reviews with James Scott. I am your host, James Tiberius Scott, or some such. Welcome back, everyone. It has been a few months since we last did this little song and dance. I'm a bit late to the party, as per usual, seems to be the case most of the time these days. We are here to discuss none other than Fruit Quake, PepsiCo's latest seasonal offering in their Dew lineup. Claims to have a blast of artificial fruitcake flavor. How truly exciting. I, fun fact, have never actually had true fruitcake, so I will not be able to draw any comparisons to how it actually stacks up against the real deal. I understand that fruitcake is somewhat of a divisive dessert when it comes to holiday treat options. I believe that many people are not too fond of it, which is surprising because it looks somewhat visually appealing to me. I mean, it's a cake. I guess it's considered to be a kind of cheapo version of a holiday cake. I don't know. Looks interesting to me. Got some good spices, some little candies in there. What could be bad about that, right? I really wouldn't know though. I haven't had it, so I gotta get that taken care of at some point. But here's what it looks like in both bottle and can form. This image may be mirrored, and in fact I believe it is because I'm using the front-facing camera. But if you can see, we've got what looks to be a monster truck made of fruitcake tire material, as well as a few little other seasonal additives there. A little gingerbread house in the background, I think, although this is not a gingerbread Dew. Last year was snapped. One second. But anyway, if you want to get a high-res look at what these two bad boys look like up close, I would recommend heading over to Google Images and checking that out. Either that or I may throw a JPEG on the screen for you in the video. Now, before I go in for a sip, I do believe it is customary to go in for a whiff first, so let's start with a whiff. A light whiff. Yes, okay. Right away, I'm detecting hints of what might be cranberry. Is that one of the ingredients of a seasonal fruitcake? It makes sense, right, for that to be the case. I think cranberry is kind of generally associated with Thanksgiving and Christmas. Not that you can't eat it any time of the year, but those seem to be the most logical times. Let's go in for a second whiff. That honestly smells really promising. It smells like a more spice-oriented version of that Sangrita blast that Taco Bell carried for a hot minute. I don't believe they do anymore. They were kind of trying to make it the next big Baja successor, or not successor, it's not going to replace Baja, but you know, a counterpart, a sister blast to go along with the Baja in the Taco Bell fountain. Didn't really seem like audiences gravitated to it quite in the same way, which is understandable. I mean, Baja is one of the best. It's hard to top the best. But yeah, let's enough sniffing. Time for some drinking. Let's go. All right. Right on. Okay. That's almost like it tastes kind of like a holiday spin on fruit punch. Is that sort of what fruitcake is trying to do? Be kind of like a fruity, festive ordeal? Let's go in again. This is unique. Boy, all right. This is pretty solid, guys. I can see as it spills out of the can on the top here that it is crimson in color, which has been the case with all of the holiday Mountain Dews so far, except for Snapped from last year. Yeah, I mean, you could probably tell that from when I held the bottle up, right? The bottle might be slightly tinted. It is kind of a brownish red, which sounds kind of unappealing when I say it like that, but no, it is actually pretty nice. What am I tasting there? I think cinnamon, Probably cranberry. What else? Sugar, to be certain. Definitely on the sweeter side. I recommend smaller sips, although I took a pretty big one to start, and I really don't regret it too much. But I think small sips is when it's best enjoyed. This has the potential to be the best holiday dew yet, actually. And much like the past ones, I don't know if I want to drink it like more than twice a week. Sometimes I'll buy a 12-pack and I'll just like have one daily till it's gone. No. You want to space this out and appreciate it. But I do want to stock up, I think, before it goes away. Yeah, this is quite good, and it makes me wonder if I've been missing out on actual fruitcake all these years, or if this is the superior product, the way it's meant to be experienced. Let's go in again. Really darn good. There have been 2 or 3 Mountain Dew Fruit Punch variants at this point. There's been the Baja Punch, the Typhoon, I think was like a Fruit Punch type deal, and then the one from Casey's General Store that we just talked about, Overdrive. They're all kind of spin-offs of Fruit Punch without being like direct just Fruit Punch. They throw in some extra citrus or something to make it unique. But this, yeah, it's kind of like a holiday Fruit Punch, and it is really nicely put together. The taste is very close to the smell, which is probably a no-brainer, but I like the smell a lot, so for it to taste equivalent to the smell is kind of like being able to eat a candle that you always wished you could take a big chomp out of, you know what I mean? Fantastic. Good job, Mountain Dew. Finally I mean, I've always liked the festive dews they put out. They've been, like, good to have, you know, but never one that's like, oh, wow, I wish this was year-round. And I still don't wish that. But for it to surpass all the other holiday dews to come before it is a thing worthy of praise. So PepsiCo, I applaud you. This is a good dew. And now that I've given you my thoughts on it, I thought maybe we could pick someone else's brain. And who better than Santa Claus? Yes, the big jolly man himself. We've got him waiting on the phone. He's been waiting all this time. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting so long, Mr. Kringle, as it were. I am now receiving a call on my phone I am using to record this, actually. So the call is not from Santa. I'm going to deal with this briefly, and then I will be back. 1 second. And we are back, live with Santa on the other end of the line. Mr. Claus, can you hear me? Are you there?
Oh, ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, James! Oh, Merry Christmas indeed! Oh, ho, ho!
Well, almost. Not today.
Oh, ho! Oh, what do you mean? Why, it's Christmas Day! The most wonderful time of the year! Oh, ho, ho, ho!
You realize I'm not uploading this on Christmas, right? I mean, no one would watch this on actual Christmas.
Oh, well, it's a Christmas episode, isn't it? Ho, ho, ho! Why not watch it on Christmas? The greatest day in December. I mean, it just makes, it's common goddamn sense, isn't it, to watch it on Christmas? Why not just watch it on Christmas? You led me to believe that I was going to be talking like it was Christmas right now. I mean, I wasted all this energy talking like it's Christmas. What the hell?
Whoa, chill, man. I mean, you of all people should know. People are going to be busy on Christmas Day. They're going to...
Whoa there, Sonny Jim. Back the sleigh up just a second. You of all people? What do you mean by that?
Oh, come on, man. I'm not trying to start something here. I'm just saying.
I'll have you know, I've spent the last 73 Christmases lying on the couch, shit-faced on eggnog, trying to distract myself from the searing pain in my thighs, after having scooched my fat ass up and down 500 million chimneys in the course of a single night. So no, I really don't have any goddamn clue what happens on actual Christmas, because I'm drunk, and I'm sore, and I'm really freaking tired. So maybe you should just tell me what goes on actual Christmas, because as far as I'm concerned, actual Christmas is just an annual nightmare that I have zero memory of by the time December 26th rolls around. God damn it, not to mention all the people that are going to put oat milk out with the cookies instead of 2% this year. I mean, who looked at a freaking oat and said, oh yeah, I'm going to take this goddamn Cheerio and siphon some hipster milk out of it. I mean, god damn it, what's this world coming to? And don't even get me started on the two-party system. Oh. Oh,
You feel better now? Got it all out of your system?
oh, oh, yeah, sorry, that should cover me till therapy on Monday. Oh, what were we talking about again?
Well, I was hoping to talk to you about Mountain Dew Fruit Quake. Did you have a chance to try it yet?
Oh, no, you see, I've got all this eggnog I have to get through before it goes bad. I've got at least 50 gallons still. Yeah, I'm actually having some right now. Typically I'll take a couple cartons with me into the bathroom when I take my daily, bubble bath.
Oh God, you're taking a bath now? While we're talking?
Relax, man, you can't see anything.
Yeah, but I can picture it, and believe me, the picture is not pretty.
Hey, man, God gave me this body, so if you've got a problem with it, maybe you just want to go ahead and tell God he's screwed up. Is that what you want to do? You want to fight God?
I don't want to fight anybody. Okay, maybe we should just reschedule this. Would that be all right? Is there a secretary I could talk to?
I told you to stay underwater till the interview was done.
You didn't tell me it was going to take several minutes.
I'm sorry, who is that?
What? Oh, oh, that's just my radio. I must have left it on. Here, let me dunk it back underwater where I thought I told it to stay.
Ah, stop it! I'm not going back down there.
Is that an elf? Is that an elf?
Oh, fine, it's an elf. An elf who apparently couldn't follow basic instructions.
How do you expect me to react to this exactly? What now?
Hey man, it's nothing sexual if that's what you're thinking.
I don't know. It seems like you didn't want me to know he was in the bath with you.
Oh, it's not just me here. Billy, Roger.
3 elves? Really, Santa?
Hey, I like the company, what can I say? And it saves on water, too. Yeah, you know how big my water bill is? All these elf baths every day in addition to mine and Mrs. Claus? It's costly, dude. Not to mention the cost of heating all this water. Lord knows it's cold as shit up here on the North Pole.
Speaking of the North Pole, Santa, you mind covering that thing with a few bubbles? It's sticking out of the water like a periscope, for God's sake.
Oh, all right. I think we are done here. I'm going to just hang up this call. No offense to Mr. Claus there. I know he's a busy man, probably under a lot of pressure, but trying to keep this PG-13, or at least TV-14. We'll allow an extra year of margin of error there, or whatever the case may be here. So, before we end this video, I thought I'd real quick run through my top 5 drinks of the year. In the past, I did a worst 5 drinks of the year list as well. But honestly, I didn't drink that many foul things this year. I'm sure I had a few cups of water that were not ideal. You know, some places you kind of get a taste of metal in there. Maybe some pipes need to be cleaned or serviced or whatever. But no, most things I drank this year were pretty good. Either average or great. Somewhere in that range. So nothing was really terrible that I can think of offhand anyway. Going with number 5. At number 5, I would have to say is good old Mountain Dew Livewire. It's been around for over a decade now. Maybe 2. I think it has been around for about 2 decades now. Woohoo! Livewire is still a solid drink all these years later. It has held up well, even when it's not summertime. I could pretty much pick one out of the fridge any time of the year and be happy. It is a good, solid, orange-flavored drink with an extra Mountain Dew level of zing. It's just got a lot of personality, and I'm glad it's stuck around all this time. It used to be summer only, now it's year-round, so we win in that regard, as do drinkers, don't we? Number 4 is, believe it or not, Classic Mountain Dew. Classic Mountain Dew has really made a resurgence in my cravings this year, partially due to the fact that it's served at the Level 1 bar and arcade that I go to frequently for pinball competition and casual play. They've got it behind the bar. They hook me up when I'm there. I find myself associating the regular Mountain Dew taste with performing in pinball now, so there's kind of a correlation there. When I crave pinball, I crave regular Mountain Dew. It's just a thing now. I've been trained, much like a Pavlovian dog. Respect the classics, right? It all started with the regular Mountain Dew. It is still a 10 out of 10 beverage and forever shall be unless they change the recipe. That'll be a dire mistake. Anyway, number 3 is the Purple Thunder Mountain Dew that I reviewed in the summertime. Comes from Circle K. It is still being carried, as far as I know, as a fountain drink selection and a bottle. Really, really good. A really unique flavor, too, much like this Fruit Quake, but even more so, I would say, because it is plum, as you may remember. I heard conflicting opinions on what people thought of it. It seemed like people either loved it or did not care for it at all. But it is nice to have a Purple Dew back on the roster, because Pitch Black, I'm pretty sure, is not being sold right now, even though it's supposed to be permanent. That's a darn shame. But it has a big enough following that I do think it'll be back at some point. But that's neither here nor there. Number 2 is going to be not a Mountain Dew at all. Actually, it's going to be Laurelville Cider, which I think is sold it's either southeast or southwest Ohio. But I'm sure you can find it here and there throughout the state. Big year for cider again for the Scott family. We've been keeping a rankings chart, and Laurelville sits at number 2 in my personal rankings. Not just for this year, but overall. Really, really good, flavorful, appley cider. I realize that's not a very eloquent summation, but you drink it and you'll know what I mean if you're a cider fan. Laurelville is good, good, good. And I think for the second year running, I would have to check my chart from last year, but I do believe it was Huggis or Hugis Fruit Farm Cider sitting at number 1 again. Tastes a lot like Laurelville, but just a bit more flavorful. It might even depend on the batch, honestly. I could see a Laurelville batch beating out a Huggis if the batch was, I don't know, from a certain time of year, from a certain type of weather. I don't know. I'm sure there's many factors that affect how cider tastes. But from the ones I had this year, Huggis was the winner yet again. Yeah, so it may shock you to learn that Mountain Dew is not always my favorite thing I drink every year. Sometimes it is a non-carbonated, non-caffeinated fruit drink. But I really do love my fruit drinks. They are the best there is, as far as I'm concerned. Anywho, nothing more to talk about today. I think we can go ahead and try to forget about that Santa encounter we had on the interview there. Not worth remembering, really. Until next time, this has been James Scott saying Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Season's Greetings, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus, Happy non-denominational whatever. I just hope you have a nice December, all right? How about that? Until we meet again, presumably next year, I'll see you around. Stay bubbly, my friends.